Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now November 3rd of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, you name it, and exactly what they have planned and in store for the Star Wars fandom in the next couple of years from now. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now in a phase of desperation and damage control in order to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to this massive franchise. Essentially, what they plan to do is that they actually are planning to bring back a majority of Star Wars legends to come into the Disney canon in order to really give Star Wars a little bit more energy, if you will, to attract more of the Star Wars fans that were lost because of the sequel trilogy and how it was so mishandled by Kathleen Kennedy, right? So here we are, we are in November of this year. We're getting closer to 2021, which is where things are really going to pick up big time. We're talking about, the filming of the Kenobi TV series, the Cassian Andor TV series getting further into production, and other TV shows coming to light like the Ahsoka Tano TV show that is actually still planned for 2022. We're going to actually get that character in The Mandalorian Season 2 to have a massive entrance into the saga in the form of live action. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting, of course, all has to do with the Skywalkers. Now, there is no question about it that the Skywalkers are the main selling point within what we actually look at Star Wars as, right? The Skywalkers really are what makes Star Wars the biggest thing of all time. It's where it all started, it's where it all began, and I believe that obviously Disney knows that they are very important. Now, what's really exciting is that with the Skywalker saga now over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars universe and their new trilogy of movies in order to create a better version of the Star Wars franchise moving forward. It's explained that Bob Iger and Chapek are indeed gathering incredible ideas and concepts in order to make exciting projects for the Star Wars fans. However, it's noted that recently Bob Chapek had met up with George Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni to discuss the new universe, and of course, out of all these discussions, new plans came into play, specifically plans to do with the Skywalkers. It's described that Disney is creating a plan of sorts to fall back on the Skywalkers in the form of movies again, and even a trilogy in the future that will continue the Skywalker saga on the big screen once again. It's described that ending the saga with Episode 9 was really Kathleen Kennedy's idea, and that J.J. Abrams wanted to leave things open to expand the Skywalkers originally. Let me stop right here for a second, because this is a very interesting point, is that it wasn't necessarily J.J. Abrams' fault that the Skywalkers came to an official end, at least, for now. That was all rooted by Kathleen Kennedy. She is the one who wanted to market Episode 9 as the end of the saga to really draw the fans in. And obviously J.J. Abrams did not want that. Actually, if you guys fall on, some of the interviews, if you actually go way back, if you actually read up on what J.J. Abrams had wanted to do, he was so eager to keep Ben Solo alive, and Kathleen Kennedy was just not having it. She was not actually liking that idea, and even told JJ that this needs to end, it has to be over, to focus on new things. Now, let me just say one thing here, is that J.J. Abrams, I think, was more so in the right. I think that at the very minimum, we could have had Ben Solo live on to have a happy life with Rey. I think that would have been a better ending, at least in my book. I think that obviously the fact that scenes were done for that actual, kind of ending to the saga, and Kathleen Kennedy was not approving that. But beyond this, alright, moving on, however, Chapek is described to have a plan by introducing the two new Skywalkers, currently dubbed as Qi'ra and Cade Skywalker in the form of live-action television on Disney+, in order to introduce these characters. Bob Chapek is said to have a plan that if those characters are successful on television, they will be expanded onto the big screen in the form of a trilogy to create new movies that will revolve around the Skywalkers once again. Very exciting, I must add. Now, this is completely separate from the trilogy that is already in the works. This has nothing to do with the trilogy that's already in the works, you know. We do know that they have a lot of movies already in development, a lot of them, in fact, more so than just the trilogy. So who knows exactly how far off Skywalker movies would even release, but it's going to be a thing as long as the Skywalkers, Cade and Qi'ra, are going to be successful on Disney+. Now, what's exciting about this is that this gives fans hope that they could actually make the Skywalkers relevant again in a more proper way than how it was handled, you know, with Ben Skywalker, or should I say Ben Solo, as Kylo Ren. Or how Luke was so mistreated in The Last Jedi. So they're going to really try to do incredible things in the coming years throughout this entire decade of the 2020s, leading into the 2030s, if you will. So they really want to make Star Wars as big as Marvel. They want to make it an everlasting franchise that's going to be successful year after year. Moving on. So, currently as of right now, alright, Qi'ra and Cade Skywalker are described to be the children of Rey. We've talked about this before in the past. Siblings, if you will, just like Luke and Leia. Chapek actually felt that by continuing the saga, they would want to play things safe first by introducing them on Disney Plus in the form of TV to make fans choose if they feel like that they like those characters. As of now, there are plans to develop these new characters to go into the form of movies to make new Skywalker films, especially in the form of a trilogy. It's noted that Bob Chapek has had important conversations about this with creator George Lucas in order to expand the Skywalkers into something very relevant for the fans to witness. Now let me stop right here, is that Cade and Qi'ra Skywalker, it's going to be a very interesting design. They are said to be pretty much based off of Jaina Solo and the original version of Cade from Star Wars Legends, which we will be getting into just now. Now, Qi'ra Skywalker is said to be modeled after Jaina Solo. She'll have a very similar appearance to Jaina, however a different personality from Star Wars Legends. Meanwhile, Cade Skywalker, though he will have a different appearance, is said to be the new actual Skywalker in this new universe that'll actually be very close to the Star Wars Legends version. Not just that, but also Lucas believes that this will be a great experiment with them on Disney Plus in the form of a series, and that they are going to move them into the form of movies based on the fan feedback of those characters. Kathleen Kennedy, at no surprise, is described to be very angry at this decision by Bob Chapek and George Lucas, since she wanted the Skywalkers to end permanently, and that she is frustrated also over the fact that so many fans did not approve of Kennedy's direction with Episode 9. Now, it's noted that this plan by Disney is to really make up for the losses of what happened with the sequel trilogy movies, where it's explained that Favreau and Filoni will be involved with the development of these new Skywalkers eventually in order to make sure that the Skywalkers are done perfectly for the fans around the world, and that Star Wars can live on to be a very successful franchise throughout this entire decade and beyond. Now, the thing about these new Skywalkers, I feel that a lot of fans out there are not going to approve this right from the get-go. I feel that a lot of fans are already over the Skywalkers. I'm sure a lot of you guys will write this below in the comments that you don't really care about the Skywalkers anymore, and that's fine. However, I think that a large majority of fans really want to see the Skywalkers continue, and I think that Disney knows this. This is exactly why they are bringing back other Skywalkers that are going to be more so associated with Rey. That's one other thing that fans may also not agree with, is the fact that Cade and Qi'ra are going to be descendants of Rey in a sense. They are going to be the children of Rey Skywalker. Now, we went over this just in my past video that George Lucas plans to end the current concept of Rey Skywalker and making a new meaning to Rey Skywalker and how she's going to be a legitimate Skywalker in the series. So keep in mind that they're really trying their absolute best to fix everything within the Star Wars universe, to really gravitate toward the Star Wars fans, really, you know, kind of just listening to the fans more so than ever before. And I think that's obviously a great start. It just shows that Disney is very much, I guess you could say, desperate to really make things right again, not just for the fans, but also on their end, you know, to make Star Wars successful. So yeah, guys, like I've said before in the past, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.